We last left off on our Oregon Coast Aquarium trip by going on a special tour through the behind the scenes area. But now we've made our way all the way to the open seas exhibit to see sharks. Let's go. Okay, we are here in the passages of the deep with aquarist Caleb to look at some of these cool guys behind me. So where are we right now?
So this is the open sea habitat. As you can see kind of behind the acrylic here, this is where our underwater tunnel, as it's widely known by our visitors, is located. This is just 1/3 of the Passages of the Deep series of habitats.
Awesome. So how many species of shark are in here?
Currently we have 4 species of shark and 1 species of stingray.
Correct me if I'm wrong, are these leopard sharks?
Yes, the ones with the spots are leopard sharks. Kind of a fun fact, if you look really closely at them, you'll see some of them have smaller spots between all the various saddle marks, and some of them don't.
Oh.
The ones with the smaller spots, so like this individual that just swam by,
right.
Those are local species, and then the ones that don't have those and just the saddle marks are actually a California subspecies. Or not subspecies, but subpopulation.
Okay, so it's not a subspecies?
No, same species, just difference in genetics, just a little bit.
Oh wow, oh my gosh, look at the school of fish. Oh wow, sorry, we're looking at sharks right now. Okay, so in theory, every shark that is in this tank can be found off the coast of Oregon?
Yes.
So did I also see 7-gill sharks in here?
Yes, we have broad-nosed 7-gill sharks. So this big guy here is Casper. He's one of our oldest sharks. Pongo is...
like a Dalmatian.
Pretty much. His main identifiers looks like he kind of got in trouble with a bottle of whiteout and like an old-fashioned fountain pen. We currently have 8 7-gill sharks.
But have you ever been scuba diving or anything like that?
Yep, I'm certified up to a rescue diver. It's actually a main part of my job here. Wow. So to clean these tanks, we actually have to get in the water. Similar if we have to do any kind of veterinary procedures. We will go in and we'll get up close to the animal just to get a good look at their body condition. Some species are more comfortable with us coming right up to them. Our sturgeon, for example, in our halibut flats habitat, have absolutely zero concept of a personal bubble. They will come right over, they'll suck on your head, they'll suck on your kneecap. They like our divers. And then some of our other 7-gills. Pongo in particular is a bit of a brat when it comes to our divers. None of our sharks act aggressively towards our divers, but Pongo in particular will come over to anyone that's vacuuming or scrubbing and be like, "What you doing?" There's been a couple times I've been getting shells out of this tank and all of a sudden it gets dark. Yeah. And I just kind of look up, it's like, "Hi buddy," as I see a shark to me swim right over my head. So
you know each of these sharks' individual personalities and you know what they're all like. And so basically a shark, I feel as though people watching here would never have guessed that sharks have personality.
It's actually something we've found working with any of our fish species. Basically anything with a brain is going to showcase some level of personality. Octopi are a classic example of having excellent personality. Sharks, we see that to some extent.
As a zookeeper, I often get questioned by the public, you know, do I have a favorite animal? Our answer is, oh, we're not supposed to have favorites, but it's so-and-so, right? Do you have a favorite shark or animal that you work with?
With perfect timing, Pongo here is probably my favorite. He definitely has the most personality. Probably second would be Casper, but Pongo is notorious for, you know, basically being a ham. He loves, when I'm in this room doing Zoom interviews with OSU students or other college students, high school students, and they'll see him in the background. He almost, without fail, likes to appear right behind me and do the shark equivalent of bunny ears. Pongo would peek over the head keeper's shoulder and then peek down, and then peek up, and then peek down. Oh, that's hilarious. So it's an excellent example of how they have kind of personality and like to.
No, I love that.
Just kind of interact with their environment. Yeah.
I love that. What is your background. How did you get into, you know, being an aquarist?
Right. So my particular path to being an aquarist is definitely a little bit more complicated than some of my other aquarists. I have a degree in marine biology. When I graduated, I was looking to see if anything local was available, and they all wanted me to have salmon handling experience, but no one wanted to give me salmon handling experience. So I ultimately ended up going back to school for a second degree in fisheries and wildlife. When I started that degree, I actually started volunteering here with the Fish and Invertebrate Husbandry Department. As I was volunteering and going through my second degree, I decided this is kind of what I want to do. I got in this field to work with the animals, not necessarily to conduct extensive research. You know, I'm perfectly content with pongo swimming over my head or having an octopus, you know, kind of play wrestle with me.
Right.
You know, in my final year, I pretty much was applying to every aquarium that I could think of, and as is typical, most of them I didn't hear anything back. I got a couple interviews here and there, and ultimately I took a job as a school bus driver to, you know, pay the bills because student loans are coming up. And the day before I was scheduled to take my commercial driver license exam, the curator here called me up and said, "Hey, you want a job?"
There you go.
So sometimes it's just the stars have to align.
They have to align
Yeah.
just perfectly.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do the animals that you work with mean to you? Like, how important are they to you?
Oh, they're extremely important. We monitor their health and well-being very closely. As I said, they have excellent personalities, and monitoring, if that changes at all, is an excellent indicator if something is wrong, something might be stressing them. They might have an internal injury that we're not aware of, that kind of thing. And an unfortunate fact of this field is we could follow every rule in the book, every guideline, but ultimately we're dealing with animals that have a finite lifespan.
Right.
And when we do lose animals, we take it very seriously. We work with our vets to do postmortem examinations to determine what happened, and try to prevent it in the rest of our population. I can guarantee when Pongo's turn comes around, I'm going to be an emotional
Bowling.
wreck. Yep.
It never gets easy. It's extremely tough.
No.
But, you know, thank you so much for your time today. I do have to go to my next thing, but I did one last thing I wanted to tell you, and it's just that this is the first interview, you guys, I'm talking to you now. This is the first interview I've ever had that someone is taller than me, and my neck is hurting right now. So is that what you guys deal with me, just looking up at me like this all the time? Okay, sorry. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good rest of your day.
All right, thank you.
Stay tuned for part 3 coming up soon. Caleb decides to join us for the rest of our behind the scenes trip.